Hi students, I am Poornima, your biology educator. So in this session, we are going to study the K-CET questions related to the sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Let us look at the questions. How many microsporangia are located at the corners of a typical bilobed anther of angiosperm? So, what they have given? There is a typical bilobed anther. So let us consider it as a typical bilobed anther. Okay. Each of the lobe consists of two microsporangia. So what will be our answer? The answer will be 4. There is two lobes are there and each of the lobe there is two microsporangia. So in total the 4 microsporangia is present. Next, which of the following aquatic plant does not show pollination by water? What they have asked you. The aquatic plant that does not show pollination by water. See, option A is Vallisneria, B Hydrilla, C water hyacinth and D is Zoastera. In this, Vallisneria, Hydrilla, water hyacinth, all the three are pollination occurs by water itself. So if the pollination occurs by water, we will call it as hydrophily. Okay, we will call it as hydrophily. But Zoastera, it is taking, the pollination is going to takes place by means of insect. Okay, here the pollination is taking place by insect. So such kind of pollination we will call it as entomophily. It is very important to understand the word entomophily and hydrophily. So our answer will be option D, that is Zoastera is the correct answer for this question. Next, come with the option. Next is the third question. Which cell of the female gametophyte is involved in the formation of primary endosperm nucleus after fertilization? See, we know the structure. For this, it is necessary to know the structure of the egg or the female gametophyte. Usually, how many cells were there? There were two antipodals, one egg cell, two polar nuclei, and three were the antipodal cells was present. See, there were two synergids, okay, one egg cell and a pair of polar nuclei and three antipodals were present. Always remember the two gametes of the male. What it does, one gamete will enter through the synergid and it fuses with the egg and it makes the zygote. Okay, it makes 2n, that will become the zygote or the seed, whereas the one more nucleus, male nucleus, will fuses with the pair of polar nuclei. The pair of polar nuclei will have the 2n nucleus and that results in the formation of the triploid nucleus. That is nothing but the primary endosperm nucleus. So which cell is involved in formation of the primary endosperm nucleus, students? That is the central cell. There is option? Yes, the option D is indicating the central cell is going to fuse with the male and it produces the primary endosperm nucleus after fertilization. Next, stalk of this stamen is very simple question, right? It has been asked in the year of 2022. What there was the stalk of the stamen. So always you remember the stamen consists of two parts. This portion you can call it as anther, right? And the lower portion was called as filament. So our answer is filament. The stalk of the stamen is called as filament. Next, the ovule of angiosperm is technically known as, what there was, what is the technical term for the ovule of angiosperm? See, the answer is here megasporangium. Why? Usually the megasporangium consists of megaspore mother cell. Okay, this megaspore undergo meiosis and it produces 4 megaspores. Okay, 4 megaspores is going to be produced. So Where does this megaspore mother cell is there? It is there in the megasporangium. So please remember the technical term for the ovule of angiosperm. You can call it as megasporangium. Option B is the correct answer. Next. Typical mature embryo sac of angiosperm is. Typical mature embryo sac of angiosperm is. So you know the structure of the female embryo sac. How? What are the cells? There are two synergids, okay, and one egg cell is present. Later on, there is pair of polar nuclei and three antipodals are present. Okay. So how many cells are there? There are totally 8 nucleated cells are there. Right? There are 8 nucleated. You can count 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are 8 nucleated cells. But when we calculate the cell structure, so the polar nuclei will be considered as 1. So there will be 7 celled. So which option is correct here? See in the option A what they have given. 7 nucleated 8 celled structure. Option B 8 nucleated 8 celled structure. Option C 8 nucleated 1 celled structure. And option D 8 nucleated 7 celled structure. Even though option is looking similar, but please don't get confusion. Your concepts and the concepts are clear, absolutely the answer will be also clear only. So here the answer will be the D, that is 8 nucleated 7 celled structure. Hello students, are you preparing for NEET, JEE or K-CET? Looking for the right guidance to achieve your dream rank? Welcome to Global Academy live coaching classes, single point and complete solution for competitive exam preparation. Specially designed for 11th and 12th or PUC 1 and 2 students, combining board syllabus with entrance exam coaching. New batches starting from 25th March 2026 for the academic year 2026-27. Course fees 9,999. Now, with 50% discount, enroll for just 4,999 for the entire course. Limited seats available. Enroll today. For any enquiry, call to these numbers, scan QR code for easy payment. Next question. A flower has 10 stamens, each having bilobed dithecous anther. If each microsporangium has 5 pollen mother cell, how many pollen grains would be produced by a flower? See, usually what happens when there are 10 stamens are present? Okay, when there are 10 stamens and each of these stamen has 4 microsporangia, right? So what will the answer? It will come 40. 40 microsporangia are present. But what they have said, among the 40 microsporangia, in each microsporangia, so what we have calculated, there are 40 microsporangia, right? Among each microsporangia has 5 pollen mother cell. So we will multiply. Among each of the microsporangia, there are 5 pollen mother cell. So what will be our answer? That will be the 200, right? But what the answer they have asked us to identify? They have said that how many pollen grains would be produced? Please understand, when the word pollen grain is asking us to find, or where they have asked us to find the word pollen grain, always remember the pollen grains are the one haploid cells. So the presently the microsporangia must undergo meiosis, right? It is undergoing meiosis. When it undergo meiosis, it produces 4 haploid cell, and those 4 haploid cells are the pollen grains. So this 200 will be multiplied by 4, right? Because of the haploid cells. So finally we will get our answer, that is 800. So which option is correct? Option B. If you want, once again I will explain. Please don't get confused here. What they have asked, a flower that has 10 stamens, each having bilobed dithecous anther, right? Each anther, how many microsporangia will be present? 4, right? How many, in the question what they have asked, How many stamens are there? 10 stamens. So let us multiply. Each lobe is, each anther is having the 4 lobe, right? So here 10 into 4, that will be the 40 microsporangia will be present. But in the question they have given that in that each microsporangia has 5 pollen mother sac. Here you have to multiply at this point, that is 40 into 5, that is the 5 pollen mother sac. But what they have asked us to find out how many pollen grains. Always you remember pollen grains are the haploid structure, and this pollen mother cell will undergo meiosis and produces the 4 haploid cells. So the presently the 200 will be multiplied by the 4. That answer will be the 800 pollen grains would be produced by a flower. The role of filiform apparatus in synergid is, do you remember where was this filiform apparatus was present? See, in the embryo sac, okay, in the embryo sac the synergids were present, right? And there was a finger like or a filiform structure that was present, and this filiform structure was guiding the gametes or the male gametes to enter inside the egg. So it is guiding the entry of the pollen tube. Next, identify the correct statement. So here we must read all the statements at the beginning. Option A, only one megaspore present towards chelazal end remains functional. 3 megaspore present towards chelazal end degenerate gradually. Each megaspore mother cell directly develops into megaspore. Each female gametophyte is 7-celled and 7 nucleated structure. Which option you can directly cancel it? It is option D and option C. Both you can cancel it. Why? Because what they have said, each megaspore mother cell directly develops into a megaspore. Is it possible? No. Because megaspore mother cell undergo meiosis, and after meiosis only it can develop into as the megaspore. Directly the megaspore mother cell cannot develop into as the megaspore cell. Next, each female gametophyte is 7-celled and 7 nucleated structure. Always you remember it is always a 8 nucleated and 7 celled structure. So option C and D it is wrong. Let us look at the option B. 3 megaspore present towards chelazal and degenerate. So the megaspore mother cell will undergo meiosis and produces the 4 haploid cell, right? 4 haploid megaspore will be produced. You know that among which the 3 cell 1, 2, 3 3 cells will degenerate. Okay, 3 cells will degenerate and only 1 cell remain functional. So, which cell is remaining functional? The megaspore that is towards the chelazal end is going to remain as the functional. So, what is the option B they have given? 3 megaspore present towards chelazal end degenerate gradually. Is it correct? No. The 3 cells that is towards the microspore end or make a microsporophyll end that is going to, that is going to degenerate. Next, option A. Only one megaspore towards the chelazal end remains functional. Is it correct? Yes, because only one cell that is towards the chelazal end, it is going to be a functional. So, option A is correct, not the B or the C. Next. In apple, the chromosome number of gamete is 17. What is the chromosome number in its primary endosperm nucleus? You always know that primary endosperm nucleus, how many nucleated structure it is? It is 3n. You can directly multiply, that is 3 into n they have given. What is the n? N is 17 here. So 3 into n, that will be your answer 51. So option A is correct. Identify the mismatch. See, here we have to identify what is mismatching towards the pair. Pen, that is a primary endosperm nucleus. It is a triploid. Yes, it is a triploid structure. How? The 2n of the central or the polar cell is going to fuse with the one male gamete and it is going to produce the triploid structure. Antipodals are also the haploid structure. Zygote is a diploid, and later on the synergid is not a diploid, student. Synergid is also a haploid structure. So option D will be the correct answer for this question.